Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Divine Journey. So, since last episode, it's actually not too long after last episode, I did leave this running a little bit AFK after I changed this up, which I'll go over that in just a second. And our critter snares are done. It didn't take them all that long at all, and you can see we got a zombie hanging out there, so it's not dropping out any more zombies down, okay? The timer's not running, and that zombie's kind of stop the system, right? And you can see we got some critter snares right there, just kind of hanging out. Now, what I did over here, I just did a slight alteration because, for one, I derped when I set this up. So if you set this up and you're running your distillery like I had mine and you were having issues, you can blame it on me because I totally derped when I set this up. So originally I had the item conduit feeding into the back. Well, what would happen is I noticed that a lot of the stuff was getting ordered and it was just like getting stuck in there. So what I did was I moved the conduit to the top, feeding into the top, because if you feed it into the back, it can go in these slots, but it can also go in these slots. For whatever reason, it can put them in the output. And I wasn't thinking when I set it up and did it that way, and so the items were like, okay, well, the interface is feeding them into this, and then they would just get pulled out and cycle back through, and then the recipe would get stopped up, right? So change that over and have it feeding into the top. The top can only access these slots right here. So now it works perfectly. Okay, and I did put a chest in there. I mean, the rest of this is all set up the same. Insert there, extract there, brown and green, and there you go. So this over here, though, the reason I put the chest here is because I have an idea. Once I get some more distilleries crafted, we're going to lay this out in a manner that will allow us to have multiple distilleries on a single line. Because I came up with an idea that will work. From what I've noticed in my test world, it'll be fine. And basically just using priority systems. And, you know, the do not push crafting items. So, yeah, we'll have multiple distilleries, all just using one interface. Just one connection, multiple distilleries, and then they'll have access to the pattern. So basically, if one distillery is crafting something, then it can send it over and whatnot. So now I will say it's going to, like if this one has foul fume and quicklime, it's going to dump it in here. Let's see, I think the only one that we'll have to do slightly different, like on its own line, because if you notice, if you look through here, foul fume, quicklime, breath of the goddess lapis, diamond, oil of vitriol, diamond vapor, gas tier. There's ender pearl for the ender dew, blaze powder, gunpowder for this, for the reek of misfortune and glowstone. Demon hearts, you only really need this recipe. There's not a whole lot of reason for this recipe, I don't feel like. Unless you just really want to get less demonic blood. This recipe right here uses oil of vitriol just like this one. That's the only real duplicate that we're going to have to deal with. Where something takes, you know, two different recipes take one of the same components. So the one that makes the condensed sphere, focused wheel, then the brew of the hollow tears, we will just have that on its own separate little connection, is what we're going to do. So that one will be the only one that doesn't run through this system. But what's going to happen with this system, which if I find that I'm using certain fumes a lot, then I may alter it so that we just have like different interfaces spread out. But what's going to happen is, say you have a few of these crafts of foul fume and quicklime, it's going to dump them into one distillery, but then if you order something else, it's going to move over to the next distillery and the next one. And honestly, I mean, we're not in endgame yet, so things are subject to change, but I think that should be good and cover everything that we need. So, I mean, the main thing right now is the distillery. That's what's slowing it down, is it's needing to craft all these different brews through one distillery, but if we had multiple crafting, you know, different brews, it would work out well. So, anyways, today we are going to start off by automating the cauldron. It is about time, and I'm tired of manually doing cauldron stuff. Okay, oh, and I did set up little terminals here. These aren't permanent spot, but they kind of give us access to it, so I don't have to go over to the Thaumcraft area every time I want to do patterns. But so anyways, for the cauldron automation, I know KC mentioned on the Discord, and something that I was considering as well, and I think we're going to do it. We're going to set up multiple cauldrons. Because they're cheap, they're easy to make. Anointing paste is all that it really requires. And anointing paste is fairly simple to make. I mean, Celestial Pearl, I actually need to automate that. I'll do that in just a second because we do want to get that automated. Yeah, let's pop over there. Let's go ahead and automate Celestial Pearls, and I'm going to teach it how to make anointing paste because we're going to need a few of these cauldrons. And each one is going to use, let's see, with the design I'm setting up, it's going to use 3 channels per cauldron, which I could technically just use 2, and we might do that because that would save us a lot of channels over the course of the cauldron. So yeah, we might do 2 cauldrons, in fact. But anyways, so the Celestial Pearl for this, because this is something we have not automated yet. I do have one in here, though. Oh, because it crafts 2 at a time, that's why. Okay, so for Enderium, let's go ahead and lay out a pattern real quick for this. And we know this is going to make 2 Celestial Pearls. Oops. Okay, stick them like that. I guess they don't stack. Okay, and then we just need Nether Shard, Ender Shard. And I mean, that's really the recipe. So let's go ahead and grab that. And our Celestial Pearl, I want to set this up. We got to set up the blacklists upstairs. So let's pop up there. Okay, so this interface, there's how you make Celestial Pearl. And then right here, we're going to put this into there so we can drop that into the interface. And then we have to set our filters here. Oh, wait, what goes in the center? Oh, it's a Fluix Pearl, isn't it? Make me one of those. I totally forgot to add that to the recipe. Whoops. Let's see, right over there, we're going to say that you can store Fluix Pearls. And then all of these little storage buses, we're just going to say Fluix Pearl, Celestial Pearl, and get these blacklisted. So all the blacklists are set, and then all I have to do is set the whitelist on the storage bus over here. So this one right here, that import bus, I mean, we're going to say Celestial Pearl, and that should be all done. It should be all situated. I just have to drop the pattern into here. There you go. That's how you make Celestial Pearls. And we should be all set. So let's go up here and we'll order Celestial Pearls just to see if it crafts. So make me Celestial Pearls. And you can see it's crafting. There we go. Okay. And I'm not going to sit there and watch it run all the way to the end. Now to make the actual anointing paste. This is Limus, Herba, Permutatio, and Luxuria. Which I think most of those things we've got. Let's see, Limus, Luxuria, and then I know we've got Permutatio and Herba. So, now those, the Limus and the... Why can I not scroll all of a sudden? There we go. The Limus is not automated. Luxuria is, but Limus is not. So before I make too many of these, I will have to automate that. But for right now, let's go ahead and take our Celestial Pearl. And I'm going to grab our Knowledge Core. And I just want to teach this how to make Celestial Pearls. Or Anointing Paste, I mean. So that makes... Well... I'm sorry, not our Knowledge Core. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm losing my mind. Put that back. Okay, let's just throw a... I guess we'll do it in... It's the one that makes Void Metal. We'll do it in the one that makes the Quick Lime, I guess. So if you throw a Celestial Pearl in there, that makes Anointing Paste. Now this isn't something that we're really going to have to make a lot of, I don't think, because, yeah, it's only used to make Crucibles. So it's not something that's going to be ordered a lot, so I just kind of wanted to make it automated because we are going to want a few Crucibles over the course of setting this stuff up. And our Celestial Pearls, are those done? No, they're still crafting? Okay, it's absorbing the items right now. I double-checked the Essentia. I was like, I know I've got that stuff. We do. It's just, it takes so much Essentia to make that stuff. And how's our Anointing Paste coming? Okay, it's working on the Permutatio right now. So... that'll be done in just a second. Then we'll just set it up as a recipe, and then we'll have that stuff. So, Cauldron, oops. Celestial Pearl, there we go. We got 2 of those. So it worked perfectly. And we're going to set up, in our interface terminal, we're going to say that if you take a Celestial Pearl, then you are going to get And we just have to wait on the anointing paste. Okay, there we go. Anointing paste is done. And we'll go ahead and encode that. And we'll just pop over here and put it into an interface. The second one over. There we go. And we'll go ahead and order ourselves... Whoops. Let's order another anointing paste. So we can get another cauldron being made. Or, you know, another one being made, because it's going to take a little while. Okay, so now that that's done, let's head back over to our witchery area. Oh, and the other episode, Atracus commented just the other day about character infusion that we did a while back. And I totally forgot when I was talking about it, because I said we would have to infuse again when we want to get our power back. That's not the case. We'll do it on camera a bit later, but just because I was totally not thinking about it, if you do a small circle, throw a potion of regen in there, you can infuse yourself back. Like, get your infusion back. So, basically it makes a little small area. Actually, let's do it real quick. Let's do it really, really quick. Let me get... Just so that we've got it done, and... Oh, that's actually the book I was wanting, Circle Magic. Okay, let me find it here. Okay, this ritual right here, the Rite of Charging. We might as well go ahead and set it up. So I'm going to need some chalk, and let me go ahead and order one of those, because I am going to need that. And what we'll do, we'll just set it up right over here. It does consume passively, 40 power per second is what it's going to consume passively. But it's worth going ahead and setting up. I think our altar could probably support it, I should think. So, and then we're going to need a 45-second potion of regeneration. This one right here. So let me go ahead and order one of those. Oh, that chalk's going to take a second. I've got to get more distilleries. I just dread making those. They're a little bit expensive, a little bit involved to craft. Yeah, it's making oil of vitriol right now. Okay, that's fine. So, anyways, we'll switch gears and then we'll come back to that circle that we were making. So, our cauldrons, right? We've got these right here. Let's go ahead and turn one of these into a witch's cauldron. I'm happy that anointing paste crafts, like, well, the celestial pearl crafts two at a time. The anointing paste doesn't. Alright, and I think the first thing that I want to automate, the very first thing is Mutandis, because I hate making Mutandis. And we're going to need it for a lot of stuff moving forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this, and I'm going to need some netherrack. So let me grab that. And I'm going to need our flint and steel. And let's see, I want this over here, kind of. And I think I'm going to bring it forward. We're going to have it setting, like, right in here. And I guess we'll do it ground level. For the cauldron. Yeah, we'll do that. So, netherrack. So happy to actually have netherrack when I need it now. There for a while it was terrible. And flint and steel. And let's get ourselves... Actually, I'm just going to grab... no, I don't want to grab that reservoir. Give me a reservoir. Go ahead and order that. We're going to put our kettle right there over the fire. And then what I want to do is... Let's actually grab this reservoir. And we're going to set this guy up like... let's see, I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to go ahead and actually open this up, this up, this up. So we'll have like 4 cauldrons in this little area here. And we'll put our reservoir setting like right here. Okay. And then I'm going to need some conduits. Just pressurized fluid is fine. And these are going to kind of run up. They are going to be, I guess, technically visible behind the cauldron. And we'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and lay all these out. Okay, and then let me get a couple water buckets, just 2 of these, just so we can get this reservoir producing water for us. There we go. And then we'll wrench it to tell it to pull water out. Okay, so there we go. It's filling up the witch's cauldron now. And so then what I want to do is, let's go ahead and set ourselves up. I'm going to want an open crate. And this is going to go just right above the cauldron, because we're going to need to drop ingredients into this cauldron, right? And then I'm going to want a hopper. Give me, well, yeah, just give me one of those for right now. Because I'm going to set this first one up. I mean, it's really a simple setup overall. So we'll put the hopper right there, just feeding into our open crate. And then give me a chest. And we'll set the chest up right there. Okay, and then we get to move into the AE2 stuff. So interface, connecting on to the back of the chest. We're just going to right click that so it tells it to push out into the chest. And then I want to get, let's see, let's order a vacuum chest. Next up. And we're going to put the vacuum chest setting like right here. So this vacuum chest is going to handle this witch's cauldron and then the one next to it, which really I could go ahead, set us up a cauldron there. And let me go ahead and order like 2 more of these guys. And we'll set these up there and there. And then go ahead and give me netherrack too. Go up here and light this netherrack. There we go. And I'll tell you what, we've got that anointing paste is done. Give me that. And go ahead and order 1 more. And 3 is going to be good because we'll be able to get this first little setup area done. Because I've got, actually, I've got that one kettle that's up there, and I'll use, or cauldron, and I'll use that one in this last slot. So let me pull that off. Because really, after today, probably any cauldrons that we have, like witches' cauldrons, are just going to be purely decorative. So, let's go ahead and do that. Grab that. And we have enough limus for another another anointing paste. So, and we'll put our kettle right there. And then our conduits. Let me give me like, I don't know, 10 more pressurized conduits so I can plug these in. That, and wrench those. There we go. Okay, so our witches' cauldrons are set up. And then I just have to get more like open crates and all that stuff. Okay, so this vacuum chest is setting right here. Let me grab that out of there. And let me get a filter. And actually, go ahead and make me 2 filters. And then go ahead and make me, because these open crates take a little while, go ahead and make me 3 more open crates. Oh, blank casts. That's right. Ugh. Still need to automate that, possibly. I need to look and see what all we're going to need that for, but, well, we'll start with this one. So, basic item filter in there, and we're going to drop the range on this down to like 2. Because really it's only going to need to cover like these witches' cauldrons, like right on top of them, more than anything. And then I'm going to need a piece of mutandis. And in this vacuum chest, we're going to say you collect mutandis. Okay? So that's the only thing that this vacuum chest can pick up. And then what we need to do is, oh yeah, in this interface, let's go ahead and say, do not push crafting items if the inventory contains items. And then go ahead and give me some fluix cable, and give me dense fluix. Give me like 40 of that. Go ahead and get that ordered. And then I'm also going to want a toggle bus. Okay, I do not have any of those, and my system's not automated for that. I probably need to do that. Oh yeah, let me order some patterns. So toggle bus, I want an inverted toggle bus. So, let me get a lever. And I haven't automated them yet. Maybe I should, but the thing is, the thing that worries me right now is I may have to set up more molecular assemblers before too long. Either that or clean up recipes. Because if you look through here, this is the entire, that big setup that we've got over there for molecular assemblers. Alright, so it comes down to here, and then we've got like a few little pages. Well, actually we've got more than I thought we did. So, yeah, I think we're okay. Alright, so anyways, we've got our toggle bus. And then I'm going to want an import bus. Just one of these guys. And then acceleration cards, give me like 4 of those. Import bus. And I think that's the major things. So, our Fluix cable, well, actually, our inverted toggle bus, we're going to put this right there. Oh, yeah, and I'm going to need a level emitter. Oops. One of these right here, and then I also want a crafting card. Okay. And we'll put our inverted toggle bus right there on the interface, and we'll bring our Fluix cable out by like 2, I guess. And then we'll run this over, and this level emitter, I want to put this right there. Okay, and we're going to throw a crafting card in there, and we're going to say emit redstone while the item is crafting, and we are going to put in Mutandis in this first one. So, Mutandis, there we go. And one thing to bear in mind, don't put the automation for, say, Mutandis. Don't put Mutandis right here and then put Mutandis Extremis right there. Just bear that in mind because Mutandis Extremis requires Mutandis. So if you put them like right next to each other like that, this vacuum chest is going to pull in that Mutandis as it drops. So things like that, if they have ingredients that, like, say this one makes X and this one takes X, don't put them next to each other. Because that's going to happen. That's going to be a thing. Okay, so our Fluix cable, our dense Fluix is done. Let's grab that. And I'm just going to make a conduit line, like right there. I'm just going to bring this over. So that's connected. And you can see this device is online, but if this gets the redstone signal, if it says, you know, it's crafting that, then it's going to cut that out. Okay. And then oh yeah, I'm not really going to need the import bus and the acceleration cards because I'm going to do this slightly different. So we don't need that. Just to save us like 4 channels more, well, 2 channels, I guess. I could do the import bus, but yeah, let's do the import bus. I can always add more channels, whatever. I was like, well, I could pump out of the vacuum chest into an ender chest, but channels aren't really a thing. Like, they don't really matter that much. So we're going to put an import bus on the vacuum chest with 4 acceleration cards. So we pull that stuff out instantly, and then all we have to do is just plug this up. And make sure that your inverted toggle bus, make sure all of this stuff doesn't run through that. Make sure it's only the interface that connects to that. So what's going to happen, the inverted toggle bus, if it gets a redstone signal, like right now, you can see there's a little blue line. That means information from the ME system travels through that line. Well, if that inverted toggle bus gets a redstone signal, then information can no longer travel through it. So it's not going to be able to ship items to the interface when this has a redstone signal. So if it's crafting something, it's going to emit a redstone signal and stop that interface from getting any more items. Okay? And then the regular toggle bus only works when it gets a redstone signal. Okay? But inverted for this situation. And that's really it. I mean, this is really it. I am going to need a Solignolia. I'll craft that later. For right now, I'm just going to pull the Ring of Magnetism off. And I think that's good. It's that easy. Okay, so in our pattern terminal here, we're going to set up a recipe here. I'm getting my patterns. Give me those. And we're going to say that if you take Mandrake Root, egg, just a regular egg, and then Mutandis, what's the other thing? Exhale of the Horned One. Oh, and actually we can go ahead. Processing pattern. This is going to give you 6 Mutandis. And Exhale of the Horned One, one of those. There we go. There's the recipe for it. So we'll just stick that right into that interface. And that's pretty well done. Make sure this is do not push crafting items. Good. Good. Alright, so if we were to order, we're going to look at it from this side so you can kind of see what's happening. So let's go ahead and order ourselves, say, 100 Mutandis. Okay? And you'll see the items drop in there. And you see the particles start going off. And here in a second, once that Mutandis, you'll notice it's not dropping anything else. Because we want to make sure it doesn't drop, it doesn't keep dropping stuff. Because otherwise it's just going to become a big mess if you order more than one. So the items will get pulled in. Okay, there we go. Just stop for a second. My test world, it's faster, but of course my test world doesn't have as much stuff running, so it may take it a second to go, okay, well, because the AE system was really just like a couple blocks put together. I'm in my test world, but alright, so the redstone signal went off, and it should ship some items over. There we go. You can see it just dropped them in there. So it's making Mutandis, and if we take a look in here, we have 17 Mutandis. Okay, so it's steadily building up. There is a little bit of a brief period that I mean, if you go into a test world and set this same setup up, you'll notice it's a lot faster. But the AE system isn't 50 billion blocks of AE like it is on the server, so, or on the in our pack right now. So in our survival world. So I mean, that's bound to happen. But I mean, as long as it's crafting that Mutandis, I'm happy. So I don't think, yeah, Mandrake Root, Egg, Exile of the Horned One, we've got all that. So it's not crafting anything in the process of making this. So it's not that. It's just so much stuff going on. Okay, so that's our first one done. And so then what we'll do is we'll just come down the line here and, oh yeah, I'm going to need another open crate. Yeah, let me go make some more blank casts. So aluminum brass, give me a little bit of that. By the way, let me just take a look. Is this important that I automate this, or open crate's not used for anything? Landmines, which we'll probably never use. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I don't make open crates that much, so if I have to pop over here and make some blank casts, that's fine. So I'll be back in just a second. Let me craft up a few of these. And by the way, over here I just set up basically a hopper underneath the casting table, feeding into a diamond chest, and then a redstone clock with a lever on it. So if we flip that lever off, it'll start pumping out blank casts for us. So that'll be good. I mean, there is a little bit of this aluminum. I'm not worried about it. I'm not terribly worried about it, in truth. That way we can just kind of simplify crafting those. Alright, now give me 3 open crates so we can finish laying these out. And that anointing paste it's done. Okay, so we'll have all 4 of our witches' cauldrons for our first little setups. And then, of course, we'll probably end up expanding on it, but I mean, that's a good starting point for us. Because if we take a look at recipes, Otherware Chalk, Golden Chalk, Infernal Chalk, Mutandis, we're not going to be making Netherwort. Mutandis Extremis, Drop of Luck, that's something I want to get automated today. And I think that's the main things. Oh, and our chalk, is it done? No? What's it waiting on? Gypsum. How did I know? How did I know it's waiting on gypsum? I'll pull the crafting card out of that ME interface real quick. Because it's making gypsum to send over to there, and none of it's making its way over to making the ritual chalk. That'll be fixed once I have more distilleries, but right now we need to do something about that. So, anyways, let's go ahead. I'm gonna lay this stuff out just really, really quickly off camera, and then we'll set up recipes for this. I mean, it's really identical design. All the way across the board, identical design. So I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so there we go. Everything's set up. It's actually a very cheap design. Very cheap and easy. And so what I want to do is first I'm going to set this to never active for right now. Because we need to set up a recipe over here. So that we have an actual whitelist and all that stuff. So, Mutandis Extremis. All this is Mutandis Netherwort. And you can see, I mean, it did finish making those. We got 106 Mutandis. So I think we're good on Mutandis for a little bit. Alright, so Mutandis and Netherwort. So we'll just drop that. This could be a little bit tricky here. Well, I'll tell you what I could do. Done. There we go. That's going to start running. And there we go. There is our Mutandis Extremis. And we got slowness too. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to set up right inside this level emitter. I'm going to put Mutandis Extremis. So if you're crafting Mutandis Extremis, emit a redstone signal. And then we just have to set up a pattern real quick. Say that if you take Mutandis, you take Netherwort. There we go. Couldn't find it. That makes Mutandis Extremis and encode. And we'll just drop this right into this interface. Okay, so that one is done. And then I would like to do Drop of Luck. And let's actually order a couple pieces of Mutandis just so we can see it running. So Mutandis Extremis. Go ahead and make me like 4 of those. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do. Do not push if you have stuff. Oh, and then I forgot to put this in here. And always active. Okay. So that's done. I don't know where that Mutandis went, because I should have picked it up, I should think. Let's cancel that. Okay. So now if we were to order... Why is it not... Okay. Make me like 10 Mutandis Extremis. So now it drops them in there, it crafts it, and then here in a second the vacuum chest should grab it. And go. Go. There we go. I just pulled it in. It's going to drop a couple more pieces. And the water's not always boiling. I know in my test world it wasn't boiling before it would drop the next one. But that's fine. It's not really a big issue. My AE system is like so slow. There we go. Okay, so it's crafting. And then I'm going to go ahead and set these to blocking mode. Okay, one thing I do want to do is I want to pop over here and I need to put that crafting card back in there for the Koboldite. So it should start crafting gypsum again. By the way, Koboldite, we have 230 ingots of that right now. So it's definitely working. I mean, we're good on the Koboldite dust. So, all right, now the next thing that I want to automate with our cauldrons is drop of luck. So pattern terminal, and let's take a look at the drop of luck. To make this, it is Mandrake Root, Netherwort, Tear of the Goddess, and then we need Refined Evil, and Mutandis Extremis. So one of those, and you can see we got 6, 7 Mutandis Extremis. Looks like a fair amount. I can't remember how much. I think I ordered 10, didn't I? Okay, so we've got this stuff. Oh, paralyzed. Gotta wait for this thing to pass. This is terrible. It's like, no, you can't fly at the moment. It really only affects you, though, if you're near the cauldron. So once we get this automated and we're not hanging out right here, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. We got paralyzed again. Of course we did. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop this stuff into our chest. And you're going to see the items get dropped in there, and we should see some swirly circles. Okay, I'm not exactly sure. I'm trying to figure this out because, like, the first time, yeah, I put it in the wrong chest because I wasn't paying attention and wasn't thinking. So I set it in the right chest, right? I put it in this one, and it dropped down, and it turned green. We should get swirls, but that leads me to believe that we don't have enough altar power because it's not swirling. But our altar should be able to reach it because they can make a Mutandis Extremis just fine. Unless this Arthana bugged out again, which wouldn't be the first time it's done that. So, we'll try that. Because, like, if I order Mutandis, let me see if this one over here is still working. If I order Mutandis Extremis, yeah, see, they're not getting altar power all of a sudden. Ugh. Is this running? No, my altar bugged. Oh my gosh. Let me try this. Let me, let's see. We'll pull up this chalice. Pull this block up. Pull that block up. Which means now my altar power has to build back up, but maybe that'll fix it. I mean, it should be able to hit this. It was making Mutandis Extremis just fine before. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it crafted the Mutandis Extremis. Yeah, we got a Mutandis Extremis. So I think this one, Drop of Luck, I think takes a little bit more altar power than Mutandis Extremis, so it's probably just building that up, and then it should start crafting. There's 3,000. I want to say it's like 3,000 altar power to make it. So my altar just bugged out. And I'm going to watch this for just a minute and see if it crafts. It should. Okay. It's crafting now. It just took a little bit. Like, the altar has done that a couple times where it's bugged and I have to, like, replace it before I can use it. Okay, so there is our first drop. I gotta wait for this paralyzed to go away. Okay, so pattern terminal, and I'm missing something. I'm missing the Mutandis Extremis. There we go. And that makes a Drop of Luck. And we'll just encode that. And let's give this a shot. So if I put that right there, and I was to order Drop of Luck. Oh, a couple things. A couple things I need to do here. The level emitter, put that right in there. Do not push. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, and the vacuum chest, drop of luck. You can collect that. Okay, so now if I order drop of luck, let's see what happens. There we go. It's dropping the items in, and there's our particles. And then here in a second, we should have a drop of luck. There we go. There we go. Okay, so those other slots that are down there, I'm not going to automate those, or that one right this second. I've got to add a couple more cauldrons, because I want to automate Otherwhere Chalk, Golden Chalk, Infernal Chalk. So that's what, 3, and then I don't know if we'll do Brew of Endless Waters, Combustion. I think that's just potions in general. Player Compass. Do we need that for... No, we don't need it for anything. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably add like 3 more cauldrons. Maybe put like one right here, and then do like one right here, right? So we'll have chalk, 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 and then we'll be set. Now, what I want to do next is I want to take this ritual chalk, and we should have our potion. It's done. Actually, let me just look up regen. This one right here. I want to make sure it's the 45-second one. And then our book on circle magic. We're going to need a 7x7 and an 11x11. I guess this is like the first time we've had to use like the standard chalk, I believe. Okay, so there we go. And I'm just going to dump that into there. That drop of luck can go in there. And then if we take our potion of regen, throw it in there, and right click. There we go. You just heard that sound. And if you look over at our bar, our infusion bar is up. Like, if you looked at it right as it did it, it refilled real quickly. So all I have to do if I want to get my infusion back is just come over in this circle and just hang out, and we'll get our infusion back. Now I can freely, I set my recall point to like right there in that infusion circle, just so that way I don't have to even really watch my infusion bar. Like if I teleport, because Witchery's area is probably going to be where I teleport to. It's in my base, so if I need to get home quickly, I can use it and shift right click, teleport back, and then with it being right here in this infusion circle, when it teleports me back, it should generally probably fill up my infusion bar. So that way we've kind of got a quick teleport and our infusion will stay filled up. Now it does have a slight drain. You'll notice, I mean, it's still coming back faster than it's being used, but there is a very slight drain. It's 40 per second, okay? But we're generating 120 per second. It's worth it, I'd say, just to keep that infusion bar up. Okay, and I was doing some thinking. I think we're going to do just all 3 of these chalks in this last cauldron, because it's not something I'm going to be ordering a lot of, so we might as well do that. Let me go ahead and order 3 chalks, and we'll get back to that in just a second, and we'll set that up at the end of the episode just really, really quickly. So let me fly over here. Let me pull the crafting card out of this koboldite for just a minute. I've got to get some, between episodes, I'm going to work on those distilleries. So I'll be on this pack most of the episode. So let me grab that. And those kobolds are just producing a massive amount of koboldite dust. 3,338 right now. So yeah, once I get everything sped up for, I don't know, I may do the separate interfaces instead, I don't know. But once we get the distillery sped up, it'll help out a lot. So anyways, back to our quest book here. We need to get ourselves a familiar, right? I don't even think it's in the quest book, so never mind. Circle magic. Okay, this right here, Rite of Binding is what we're going to need to do. Bind a tamed owl, toad, or cat as a familiar. And I think we'll be able to use this circle back here, I believe. I do believe. I know it's got something running right now, but I think we'll still be able to use it. We'll test it. So, Tear of the Goddess, Odor of Purity. And then we actually have to get our animal as well. Whiff of Magic, Diamond, and Demonic Blood. So those 5 things. And then we're going to have to get a owl or toad. We're going to go with a toad, I think. Okay, so I tell you what. We're going to tame, I think as our familiar, we're going to get an owl instead of a toad. And that's just because toad, I have to go out and find an ocelot. And so this weekend I'll look for an ocelot so we can get toads, because we are going to need them for the quest book. But we're going to be doing an owl. And since we're going to do an owl, let's go ahead and automate these right here, these critter snare bats. I went ahead and made one, and we've actually completed this quest. We get 10 basic machine frames for that. Because I was messing with it to see if it made sure it worked. Which it worked just fine. Wanted to make sure it wasn't like somehow altered in the pack, and make sure I wasn't just that rusty on this pack. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's order ourselves a powered spawner. Just one of these. And let me also get a soul vial. And there's a couple ways that we could do this. We could either set it up basically like how this little system is, using soul vials, or we could make it even faster, which I think we're going to go with a faster route. I do believe so. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft a Attractor Obelisk. This right here. And I'm going to need a machine chassis. So give me one of these. There we go. Attractor Obelisk. What this does, it pulls in mobs. Okay? That's all it does. And the powered spawner still crafting. Let me get a capacitor. I want an octadic capacitor. And let me get some warded glass so we can lay this out. And we'll put it like right here. So right over across from our zombies, we're going to have this set up. And let me get obsidian bricks. That'll be fine. And let me see something. What is the range on this again? Okay, it just comes out to there. Okay, so yeah, we'll put it like right over here. Right over here next to our zombies. So we'll have obsidian brick right there. Okay. And once again, I'm not for sure it's going to stay this block particularly, but we'll see. So what we'll do is, yeah, that's big enough to walk through. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we'll have it laid out just like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and just pull this stuff up. And we'll replace that with obsidian brick. And then our powered spawner, is it done? No, it's still crafting. Okay, so I'm building out just a little small spawner room. So we'll make it like that. I guess I could get my wand out, but my inventory's shot, so I'm not going to. So we'll have something like that. That's where our bats are going to hang out at. And then what we're going to do is we are going to set some warded glass on the front. Bring it over to like right there for right now. And then give me some limestone. So we have like a little spawner room. The ceiling and stuff may change once I actually start decorating this area out. We shall see. I just need 2 more warded glass. Okay. Okay, we're just waiting on a little bit more dark solarium. That stuff takes a little while to craft. Let's see. Let me get some energy conduits, because we're going to have to run some energy over. And we've got a tesseract just right over near this, so I'm just going to run it over from there. And that's just basically to run our powered spawner. And our energy line is right here. And then I want an annihilation plane. Yeah, because I'm just going to set up a little small, let's see, annihilation plane, and we'll have a formation plane. This one right here. We'll go ahead and order one of those. And this is our main AE network. Okay. Let me put this precision sledgehammer up since I don't need that anymore. Let me get some Fluix cable. And what we're going to do is, like, let's see. I'm also going to have to run power over to the Attractor Obelisk, but that's fine. Right here is where we're going to plug this stuff up. So we're going to have an annihilation plane setting right there, and then a formation plane on this side. And then right over here, let me get these, and we'll just kind of close that off. Right up there, right behind the planes, we're going to put down our Attractor Obelisk. And let me get some energy conduits, because this is going to require some power. We'll just run this over like that. And then our soul vial with the bat in it. Let me grab that. And what we're going to do is right inside this Attractor Obelisk, we're going to put that bat soul vial. Okay. And then we'll put octadic capacitor right there. Okay, so the range on this is 64. Well, really, I don't... what if I pulled the octadic capacitor out? What is the range on this? Okay, it covers the whole room. That's plenty. We don't actually need a capacitor in that, because we're not going to have bats flying around elsewhere. Okay, and then in the formation plane, I want to put our critter snares. I'm going to put that into the formation plane. Say that you put down critter snares, place blocks as blocks. Okay, and then let's go ahead and connect this line up. This one's going to be connected to our main AE network, the one with the that does the critter snares, the formation plane. So we'll just run this over, and let's see, that's part of our main AE network. So that's what we're going to plug into. So plug that up, and then the formation plane, here in a second, once it realizes it's part of a network, it should drop down a critter snare, which is what we want to happen. There we go. It just placed a critter snare. Good. Good, 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 good. Okay, and then what we want to do, let's get our powered spawner, and let's get a bat soul. We'll need one more of those. And we're going to need a spawner. Let's grab Minotaur, sounds good. And let's go convert this spawner over into a bat spawner. Alright, so that's running. And then let me go get 30 levels so that I can turn that powered spawner into a bat spawner once that is done running. It does take it a minute to change those spawner types over. And then, let's see, we still need to set up the storage. So let me get, let me just get a chest. And oak wood. Once again, I'm going to do it as an oak chest for right now. This will probably change long term, but it might change this weekend. Honestly, this weekend, that's what I'm going to be working on, is down here. Kind of figuring out what I want this room to look like. I mean, it's not going to be a pretty room, but I still want certain things visible. So I'm going to figure out exactly how I want to lay this out, but then I'll just convert the automation over. It's not really a problem. Alright, so... Oh, do I want to go with this storage drawer? That's a lot of... Well, we're going to need a lot of bat snares. So yeah, we'll go with that. And for right now, we'll put the storage drawer setting like right there. And then let's get ourselves a storage bus. Actually, 2 storage buses. And we'll put storage bus right there. Storage bus right there. And... Fluix cable, I'm going to need that. Just connect that over. And is our bat spawner done? Yes. Bat spawner. Okay. Dump that in there. Do I have an anvil? Yes, I do. Perfect. And we'll just put that down. Change that over into a bat spawner. And we'll set this right there. And we're going to say active, never active for right now. And let's drop our octadic capacitor into that. Okay, so we are just about ready to go. And then I'm going to want to plug up our annihilation plane with some Fluix. And why do you have cobalt? Oh, probably because I haven't set this as bat snares yet. There we go. And we'll lock this in. And if we take a look here, snares, there we go. We have one with a bat in it. So then what I want to do is... Let's see, do we want to make the spawner turn off when there's creatures? Maybe we do. So that it doesn't keep just using power. Especially once the critter snares are backed up. So what we'll do, we'll make another one of those... no, I can't even think of the name of it. The MFR mob counter. Or, I guess bats count as animals. So we could use that. But we'll go with a mob counter. So, because I was going to say we could use Eye of the Ancients, but that's fine. We'll just make one of these. And then let me get some insulated redstone conduits. And out of curiosity, can I have this thing facing like up? Wouldn't that be nifty if I could? Let me grab a little bit of this cobble. I swear the battery life on this like wireless terminal is horrid. It doesn't even have a battery life. Okay. If we have this facing... Nah, I don't think I can. Let me put my ring of magnetization back on. Okay, so we'll put the mob counter down like right here, for example. And precision sledgehammer. That's going to cover... Well, it's going to cover this section of the room, which the bats should be going over towards the Attractor Obelisk. So that shouldn't be a problem if it sets right there. We could also pull this up, pull that up, and we'll put the mob counter setting. So like right there. So now it covers this half of the room. So that should be good. That should be very, very good. And then we'll just put some obsidian down. And then let me get some conduits, insulated redstone conduits. And we'll just bring this out. And we'll plug it into our powered spawner. Okay, so now it's going to stop spawning if there's something near it. And so then we're going to say active without signal. Okay, so it just spawned some bats. And they're flying all over the place. I swear, I don't think that Attractor Obelisk likes to work. Let's see, what's this set as? Always active. Supposed to be getting bats. Let me try something. Let me get a soul vial here. Let me actually capture a bat that has its health and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to break that. I should put that there in addition to... They may not be coming over to it because they may not think they can get over to it. I know I've had that issue in the past. So what we can do then... we'll bring it up by 1. Oops. Well, whatever. Whatever. Set it like right there. And then I'm going to have to make a door to get in and out of this. And we'll set it like that. Now go. Okay, yeah, these bats just don't even care about powered spawner. I mean the Attractor Obelisk. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to craft up a Corporeal Attractor. And we'll just lose the Attractor Obelisk. I know the Corporeal Attractor should work, no problem. So give me just a minute. That means we won't need all these energy conduits here either, which is good. And let me turn this to never active for right now. And I'll get some free wool of bat while I'm over here. Why is it still pumping out? I said, no. I said always active, not never inactive. Okay, so I'm going to get that crafted. It's not terribly expensive. If I take a look at the Corporeal Attractor, Copper, Earth Shard, the worst part right here is the Telekinesis Wand Focus. It's a little bit involved. It's nothing that we can't handle. Sigil of Suppression just takes all this stuff. Void Sigil takes this stuff. So it's not really that bad. So give me just a minute. I'm going to get a Corporeal Attractor made real quick. Okay, I did switch up one thing. I don't know what I was thinking. I made, you see there's 2 cable lines that come over. One of these is the subnetwork that has the formation plane, or it's now a subnetwork. I connected it to our main network, and I don't know why I did that. I made it into a subnetwork and brought it around, and there's an import bus on our drawer that has the critter snares. Okay, so now it wasn't dumping critter snares. That was my fault. I wasn't even thinking. And then over here we've got, this is our main network cable that comes over. And then just connects to a storage bus and then provides these 2 with power, these 2 subnetworks. And I crafted up a Corporeal Attractor. Now the way this thing works is if you give it a redstone signal, it's going to pull in mobs, and it's based on how strong of a redstone signal that you give it. And in this case, we're going to be using a block of redstone, which is a full 15 signal. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll put the Corporeal Attractor down right there. And if you look at it right here, let me actually open this back up. If you look at it right here, you'll see it's not really doing anything. There's no like particles or anything. If we put a block of redstone down, there we go. You see there's particles coming out of that, like little bzzz things. And that's what it is, little bzzz things. So, then what we can do is this thing's going to pull in mobs, and it pulls in mobs way better than the Attractor Obelisk. For one, it does it 100%, and it has a lot more control than fans would. So if we set this to always active, what's going to happen here in just a second, you'll see bats come out. There they go. And you can see they went straight for that critter snare. And that's dropping bats. Now sometimes, right now, I need to put a a facade right there, because the bats sometimes they'll get caught on that. Eventually they will break out of it and they'll go to the critter snares, but you'll notice they are catching on that a little bit. So I need to put a facade on there, and then they'll hit the wall and slide right into this little area. So one thing I can do is put a block right there, so there's no chance of them going up. I mean, they're heading straight for that critter snare now. So it is perfectly working. Much better than the Attractor Obelisk. I almost feel like it takes them a little bit longer. They're getting caught on that. Yeah, that should be better now. Maybe I'll leave that open. Yeah, these guys are getting all kinds of stuck right there. So I'm going to make some facades, and it should run even better. I mean, I guess I can just kill these guys off. I mean, I could put like I could double this up, because we're going to need wool of bat, so I could double it up as wool of bat production and critter snares. That's a possibility. I might consider that. But you can see right now we have 37 bat critter snares. 38, so on. So this thing is working very, very well. And that's going to solve our bat critter snares problem. Because in the quest book, I was looking to see if that, when I was crafting the sigil, if it had a quest involved. But the draconic core, we've got 3 out of 6 now. Critter snare bat, or bat critter snares, we need that. So now we've got them. Oh, this thing is just kicking through. We're at 66. And honestly, I mean, once I put facades on that, I think that's done. I mean, I'll clean it up, like the way it looks probably, but I mean, it's working very, very well. I mean, the only problem right now is those bats just getting stuck next to that conduit. Is really all that's an issue. So let me get like 2 conduit facades. Let me pop over and get these things painted real quick. Conduit, oh, that's not conduit facades. What am I thinking? And we'll drop that right there. So then if we turn this on, always active, we should see the bats really heading for it now. And not getting caught on that little wall, because basically what's happening is they're nesting right there. So look at that. They are 100% going straight for that critter snare. Like, they want to get captured in the critter snare. And by the time the next one spawn, like, they're already all gone. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so let's get our chalk automated real quick. Man, I love this thing. Those bats right there, I may have to... Let me do this. Let me do this. I left it open because... Is there a... There we go. There's a bloodlight in there somewhere. Okay. I left it open because... There's bloodlight behind that one too. There we go. I left it open because technically mobs can spawn in that area, but this is fine. This is fine. So, anyways, I mean, it's chugging out critter snares. 173 right now. Okay, so our chalk is done. Our chalk is done. So let's grab that. And let me get 2 more level emitters. And then I'm going to want 3 crafting cards. Or did... I can't remember. Did I already put one in this one? Let's find out. This is the one I want. Yeah, I already put one in this one. Okay, so what we're going to do is right here. Let me get... Technically, I could have these wires connect, but I don't want them to just because it doesn't really matter. But it kind of makes it easier to look at it at a glance. And this one I don't want to connect. And not right there, and not right there either. Okay. And then let's get ourselves some fluix cable. And I'm just going to connect, like I said, I'm just going to connect all this through this one interface. So we'll put, oh, actually, I don't need that right there. That can connect right there. We're going to put one level emitter right here facing in. And then we're just going to put another one, run that back, and we'll put another one facing in on this side. Okay. So we'll put a crafting card in this one, emit redstone while the item's crafting, and we'll put one in this one. There we go. Okay, so now what we need to do is make our chalk. And Let's see. Otherware chalk is Ender Pearl, Tear of the Goddess, and Netherwort. And we'll just pop over here and... Oh, let's make a recipe real quick. I'm going to set this up for recipes. Pattern terminal. And we're going to say that if you take a Ritual Chalk, Netherwort, Tear of the Goddess, Ender Pearl. Sounds like the police are after somebody or something. I don't know. Can't tell the difference between the sirens. And you drop... oh yeah, Let me take this back off. I haven't crafted that Solignolia yet. So... you take these things and dump them in there. We're going to get some particle effects. There's our Otherware chalk. So then we're going to add this to this item filter to collect. And then we're going to add it to our first level emitter right there. And I think, yeah, that's everything I need to do for that one. And then we just have to set up the pattern. So we're going to say these 4 things gets us Otherware chalk. Okay, next up we're going to need to do Infernal Chalk. So Infernal Chalk is Blaze Powder and Netherwort. Blaze Powder and Netherwort. And we'll go ahead and throw that chalk in there. And if you take these things, Blaze Powder, Netherwort, chalk, and we're going to get particle effects once again. And really it's just rinse and repeat. And we're going to add it to our level emitter so that if any of the chalks are crafting, it's not going to send any items, right? Because those are all pointing at the same level emitter. I mean, toggle bus. So it's going to shut off the items coming this way regardless. Okay. So this one down here, Infernal Chalk. And we'll just pop up here. And we'll say that makes Infernal Chalk and encode. And then all we need is Golden Chalk. That is Mandrake Root and Gold Nugget. Now, truth be told, Golden Chalk, there's a very, very high likelihood that we will never need to make Golden Chalk ever again. But I'm going to go ahead and encode it just so that we've got it encoded. But chances are you probably don't have to. Because one chalk, I mean, you only place like 1 per ritual, right? So it's not something that you use an overwhelming amount of. But just since we're doing the other chalks, I figured, might as well. Might as well go ahead and do it. So in here, Golden Chalk, vacuum chest, Golden Chalk. That's it. Then we just have to set it to the recipe, throw the recipes in the interface, and that's done. Which I'm not going to make any of these. I trust that it works. But if later on, I'm sure we're going to need more. I know we'll need more of the Otherware and the Infernal Chalk before all is said and done. And do not push crafting items is on. Okay, so all of our automation right there, 4 cauldrons. And so we have dedicated cauldrons for Mutandis, Mutandis Extremis, as well as Drop of Luck. Because those are definitely things that we are going to need more of. Okay, now that we've got that done, the last thing that I want to do this episode, I know this episode's going to run a little bit long, a little bit over. I know it's already over, but I want to cram a little bit more into this episode because we have been working on getting our familiar. So what I want to do is I want to go out and find ourselves a wolf. Okay, because we're going to create our first owls, and then we're just going to turn it into a familiar real quick. We already have all the stuff here for that. So let me fly out. Let me find a wolf. Or an ocelot. Either one, honestly. I will take either one of them. Okay, we got a wolf here, just on top of this tree. We've actually got a bunch around here. Well, according to the journey map, there's one as well. I'm just going to grab one of these guys. Now, like I said, I'm going to look this weekend and see if I can find... I don't know why I'm flying back. Shift right click, and there we go. And it's great because with that being my teleport, like, I'm always going to be like full infusion power. Thank you, Atracus, for bringing that up, because I had totally forgotten about that ritual, honestly. I don't know, I guess most packs I don't use the infusion powers enough to warrant needing it. Like, I summon Torment, and I'm like, okay, well, that's it. But this pack, I can definitely use the teleport. It's quite handy. Okay, so we've got our wolf. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to turn this guy into an owl. Which is kind of strange, you turn a wolf into an owl. But we are going to need to get 4 of our bat critter snares, which we now have 472 of, which they're producing. I mean, the critter snare production's not quite keeping up. It's close. But if it comes to the point where we're needing to make like more than like, it kind of varies, but more than like a draconic core every like couple seconds, then we might speed that up. But honestly, I don't foresee much need in speeding it up. I mean, this is staying pretty steady, and it's actually going up slightly right now. So we'll see. Okay, so we've got our bat critter snares, and then we are also going to need to get a chest. Let's get that. I need a water bucket. I'm going to need some grass blocks. I'm going to go ahead and get like 8. Yeah, maybe. We're going to set up a spot for this. I don't think that there's a whole lot of reason to automate this. I don't believe. Because of the fact that we're going to be making what's called Granger, or is it Granger plants or something? Grasper plants, right? Something. Graspers. Okay, these things right here. We're going to be making these. I don't know that it's something that we'll necessarily need to have automated, because I don't think there's a whole lot of use outside of just a couple transmutation thingies for animals. So I'm going to set up a little spot right here, and like I said, for right now, we'll just do it manual. So we'll just pop down here, and actually, let me bring it down one more. We're going to set it right there. And let's go ahead and pull this stuff up. And then let's pull these up. And we'll go ahead and set these down right there. And we're going to put our grass down there, 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 there. And we'll dump our bucket of water right there. And then we're going to put a chest on top of that water. Okay. And then all we have to do is just bone meal, and bone meal, and bone meal. Okay. Okay, and then what I need is I need the mutating sprig out of here. So I'm just going to snag this. I'm not going to make a new one. Not a whole lot of point in making a new one. And then all we have to do is just right-click that, and there we go. We have our 4 grasper plants. And we'll probably need to make those at least, well, we will need to make them at least one more time. I know for a fact, and maybe a couple more times, but not much. And we'll just grab these. You can just break them like normal stuff. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to set up a little spot, and we'll just set it up right over here to make our animals. Okay, so I'm just going to dig this little area out. Let me actually get 4 more grass. We're going to need 8 for this. We're just going to lay out a little circle here, just like this. And then right down here, let's put that. And I'm going to need another bucket of water. And there is one other thing I just realized that we do not have at the moment that we're going to have to get. But hopefully it won't take very long. Now this is going to run a little bit over. I hope you guys don't mind. I don't think you will. At least I don't think most of you will. So, alright, let's put down... We're going to put down these bat critter snares on our sides like that. I think you can actually hear them crying inside of the snares. It's kind of pitiful, actually. But they're gonna live. They're just going to get transformed. And then let me get Mutandis Extremis. I'm going to need 3 pieces of this. I'm also going to need a cobweb. So go ahead and make me like, I don't know, make me like 20 of these. There we go. I'll grab one of those. And we're going to put the cobweb in the center right there. Just like we did with the zombies. But instead of the alder saplings, we have critter snare bats. And then our grasper plants, we're going to put these down right there, right there, right there, and right there. Okay? And then this Mutandis Extremis, we're just going to right-click it into these grasper plants, and you can see they kind of hold on to it. These plants are kind of nice because you can use them for decor to kind of show off items in like a naturey area. We'll actually probably use these in some of the witchery area as well as Botania, because I do quite like these plants. They're like nature-style displays. So, Okay, now this last grasper plant, we are going to have to get an attuned charge, a charged Attune Stone. So let me order, Attune Stone. Well, we've got one. That works. And then let's get our Circle Magic book and take a look at Rite of Charging. Yeah, charges the Attune Stone. So we're going to need a 7x7 and an 11x11. It takes an Attune Stone, Glowstone Dust, Redstone, Wood Ash, and Quicklime. Which this is something that we're going to have to automate before too long, truth be told. I'm not going to automate today because we've done a lot of automation and I know it's about wrapping up point. So I'm trying to just make a quick rush here for the last little bit of this. Okay. There's all the stuff that we need, and I'm actually not 100% sure if this is going to cancel this ritual or not. We're about to find out. And if it does, I mean, all it is a potion of regen to reactivate it. It's not a big deal. So, Redstone, Wood Ash, Quicklime, Glowstone, Attune Stone. Yeah, I think it just canceled it. That's fine. And there we go. There is our attuned charge stone. And was there a request for this or not? No, I don't see one. Okay. That's fine. And then this charge stone, which I'll reactivate that ritual. That's not a problem. I'm going to wait a minute though, because we're going to need that in just a second. We'll put our attuned charge stone down right there. And then let me grab that mutating sprig real quick. So we are going to want that. There we go. And I see a bat. I want him to die. Okay, and then we'll take our soul vial with our wolf, and we're just going to drop him right in the middle, and then right-click. And there we go. Okay, now let me grab... I need to be a little bit quicker about that. I don't want to lose these guys. There we go. There's 3 owls. We lost 1. It's really not a big deal if he runs off, though. I don't guess... Okay, there's 4 of them. Really, I only need 2 of them. And if you notice, it doesn't use up our grasper plants. So that's why I really don't think we're going to need this all that much. All that much moving forward, in truth. And we got these little owls. I will probably set some of these up for decor. Now, they did mention in the quest book about automating these guys. There's a quest right here for Owlet's Wings as well as Toe of Frog. So we will be automating them. I don't know, though. It doesn't look like there's anything like recipe-wise. I want to say that and the Toe of Frog are used for some potions or some rituals. So we may end up using it. We will still set them up. Toe of Frog is for Poppet Protection. Which we won't really need that on here. But it's for... there's a ritual where you can destroy somebody's poppets. That's what that's for. So, but yeah, I'll at least put one into an MFR spawner, and I might fully automate it into an Ender.io spawner later. I'm not for sure, but anyways, we got our owl, and then what we can do is let's go back to our right, and we're just about done for the episode. I do apologize. I know it's running a little bit over. Okay, right here, Rite of Binding. We need an 11x11 circle, which we've got that right here. And it also takes 8,000 altar power. I have no doubt in my mind that we have plenty. Yes, we are capped. Yeah, if you notice, it's not draining anything right now. So it did cancel that, but I've got potions of regen. It's not a problem. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have to make sure that all these items are in the circle as well as the animal that we want to bind to us. And I believe we have to be in the circle as well. I believe so. So we've already got the items. It's Whiff of Magic, Odor of Purity, Tear of the Goddess, Demonic Blood, and a diamond, right? Tear of the Goddess, Odor of Purity, Whiff of Magic, Diamond, and Demonic Blood. Okay, and I'll tell you what I want to do, actually. I totally forgot. These creatures, you can tame them. I don't know. I was messing around with trying to keep him in here, but let's just make a pork chop, like a raw pork chop. Owls love pork. And we'll just right-click him with that. No, come back. Okay, there we go. There we go. He finally got tamed on that second pork chop. So come here. Come here, owl. Now he's sitting. Let's try this again. One more time. Like, 5th time's the charm. There we go. Okay, so now you'll notice he has an HP bar and he got a name. Owl Travis. is his name, and he is our familiar. And so then what we can do, we're going to set him to Sitting False, and he's just going to kind of follow us around, usually. There we go. And then I guess the nice thing about having an owl as a familiar is he does fly, and he can kind of fly around with us. So, and then now that we've got him, which he should just teleport to me. Should. Which actually, I wouldn't mind, you know, if he just wanted to, like, stay here. You stay there. Okay, now what we can do, now that we have a familiar, is we can go out and find ourselves a witch. And generally, not always, you can generally find them around, there's like these little structures that generate, they're like little houses. And witches will spawn inside of those, but you can also find them just kind of wandering around. You find them a lot around witch circles and stuff like that. That is one thing. I haven't noticed a lot of witches in this pack. We're going to fly around and see if we can find one really, really quick before we end out the episode. Okay, here we go. Here's one. Let me actually break this so she can get out. There we go. Salem Havelock. I wasn't able to find one of the little houses. It's not a witch's hut. It's different. Okay? But she says, bring me the means to control the dead. Speak to me again if you accept. Go now. She wants the Necromantic Stone, which kind of makes sense. So Necromancer Stone, or Necromancy, right here, Rite of Necromancy, creates a Necromantic Stone. Perform at night. We need an Attune Stone, Bone, Rotten Flesh, Wood Ash, Iron Sword, and Spectral Dust. Okay, now we haven't gotten into Spectral Dust yet. We can kill hostile mobs with Arthana. So what we're going to do is, we're not going to finish our quest today, because we're not at the point where we're really ready to do the Necromancer Stone, or the Necromantic Stone. And in addition, oh, I hit that lag spot. There's the Thaumcraft area over there. In addition, I honestly want to automate the Necromantic Stone, because we're going to have to automate it. That's one of the things that we have to have for Draconic Evolution, right? The Draconic Cores. What we're missing right now is Necromantic Stone, Shiny Pearls, and Lamb Crystals. These three things are right here. So Necromantic Shards, they take Necromantic Stones to make. I think it's like 8 per. Yeah. And then you can also do it in a Blood Altar Tier 6 once we hit that point and get 12. So we'll definitely do that once we hit Tier 6 Blood Altar. But some of the quests are easier. Some of them are bring me a bunch of bones, bring me a demon heart, stuff like that. I think there's like 6 or 7 quests that they can give you. Necromantic Stone's probably, I think it's probably the worst one, I believe, if I recall correctly. So we will have to wait to do that, because we need to get that Spectral Dust first. So yeah, next episode we will continue on with Witchery, and let's see, we'll work on getting a witch coven. I am going to go out into the world and try to find an ocelot between episodes. So once I get an ocelot, we will make frogs, and then we'll set those up in an MFR spawner, and, you know, owls and frogs, and we'll get those things. I don't foresee any reason at the moment to set those up in an Ender IO spawner, but I think the MFR spawner should be good for us. So, oh, I got that raw pork chop back. How did that happen? Well, anyways, but at least now we can start kind of looking out for coven members, and basically if I was to bring them, oh, there's an owl. Asgaard caught a wild owl. Do you want to nickname it? But at least we can do their quests now. I am going to look around for coven witches, maybe put together a coven, because all you have to do is you have to give them the item that they requested. Like for that girl, if I would have brought a Necromantic Stone to her and given it to her, then she would have joined our coven. So we need a coven. We need to get a full-fledged coven, which is, what, 5 or 6 members? Does it say on here? 6. 6 witches, coven witches, for our full coven. So I will keep an eye out for those. I'll fly around, see if I can find some whose quests we can actually do at the moment, and I may go ahead and recruit those, since I'll be flying around looking for an ocelot anyways. I will say witches in this type of terrain is terrible to find. Terrible. And then next episode we will, I'm not for sure exactly what we'll be doing. We may actually step into the dream world. But before I do that, the Brew of Sleeping, I do want to automate the kettle. so we can automate Brew of Sleeping. I don't really want to make that. I remember I was making it in Sky Factory 2.5 and I couldn't stand it. I had to make so many of those things. So we may do that. We will definitely summon an imp and get the Torment contract and fight Torment next episode. And then we may head into the Dream World and maybe automate the kettle as well. So that's kind of my current plan. And, well, we might automate Necromantic Shards. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I have the whole weekend to think about it. So, anyways, I do apologize the episode ran a bit over. I hope you guys don't mind too much. I just kind of wanted to get that familiar in place for the weekend. Talk about Coven Witches for a minute. If you guys have any questions, as always, be sure and let me know down in the comments, and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. And, yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. So, until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and before I sign out, let's take a look at our critter snares. We have 1,307 bat critter snares. Awesome. Awesome. That is so good. So good. So, anyways, I'll see you guys next time.